Welcome to the My Dope Blend podcast. I am your host, Leslie Kirkland, and the co-host, my wonderful husband, Greg Kirkland.
What's up, everybody?
We're so happy to have you guys. We got some good things to talk about today. Today's episode is about real love, and we're talking about the girls, meeting them. So if you guys have some stories for our people out there who want to be a part of this blended community, I want to hear from you guys in regards to some stories about meeting the children, because we got some stuff we want to tell y'all. This was an interesting situation. So
I'm ready.
So don't forget to subscribe to us, and of course, and follow us on IG at I Am the Bonus Club, and on TikTok at Bonus 40. And we're gonna dive into this just a little bit. All right. Meeting the girls. Is this really love? Oh my goodness. So let's take a deep breath, because that's what it was for me.
Okay. You remember?
Yeah, I do. So ours was way different.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't do the traditional, hi, I am Leslie and you are.
Correct.
It was not like that.
Mm-hmm.
Greg and I decided kind of, literally, I think it was almost out of our control to do it in a more organic way.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And tell me because he always says that I don't tell the story right.
Well,
but I'm going to attempt.
Okay.
And if I'm wrong at some point, you can interject.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Don't you worry about it.
All right. So in our previous episode, you guys, if you guys remember, we talked about how we met.
Mm-hmm.
And we met at church. He was the praise and worship leader. I was on the praise team. We would have rehearsals. And he also said in the last episode that he always had the girls with him.
Right.
So he used to bring the girls to rehearsal. So I will never forget this. They used to do their homework. They used to draw. They used to do all types of things. And this particular rehearsal, was it Kyla or Kirsten? Which one?
I couldn't tell you.
One of them.
They were both drawing.
They both were drawing, but one of them said, I said, oh, I like that. It was like, yeah, you could buy it. I was like, what?
That's right. I trained them.
For $5. I said, what?
That's right.
So I'm looking at these kids like, okay, first of all,
everybody in my family works.
The head looks half or whatever. I can't draw either, but it just whatever. So I said, okay, I'll buy it. And I remember I said, but I want you to make me a new one. Like, I don't want that one. Make me a better one. And it was like, oh, okay. And they had missing teeth and everything. Okay. I was like, all right. So they said, I'm going to bring it to you at the next rehearsal. And I told them I'm going to give them $2. I'm not giving them $5. I'll give you $2. So they agreed. And the next rehearsal, they came to me asking for it. And
That's
I was
right.
like, luckily I had it, but they was asking for it. And I was like, these little girls, So the more and more we would meet at rehearsal, the more and more they would come sit by me or laugh and joke with me or do whatever. And then when we had to sing in Wednesday night Bible class, they would come sit next to me. And honestly, I used to be like, okay, like, but I started liking them too. And I was looking for them. Like, where Kirsten got?
That's right. They had the Kirkland effect.
Oh, here we go. So I was like, okay, where's the girls? So it was literally, which I appreciated, Kirsten and Kyla, the girls, we created our own dynamic. We created our own friendship aside from their dad, which I believe was something that really was a benefit for us because their relationship with me is solely theirs. It wasn't derived from the fact that you're dating my dad. You know, it was, I like her because I like her. You know what I'm saying? And so.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got that part right.
Okay. But there's always a but.
Well, no, there's no but. It was just from my perspective or on my end.
Okay.
What I did was we were alone having dinner one night, just the girls and I. Excuse me. And I asked them, out of the blue if they had boyfriends in school. At that time, they were in, pre-K and kindergarten and maybe first grade or something like that.
They were
And
young
they
guys.
were young. And I asked them, I said, so do y'all have boyfriends? And no, I don't have a boyfriend. And this and that, and this and that, and this and that. So I asked them, I said, well, how would y'all feel if daddy had a girlfriend? Ew, a girlfriend, yuck. What is that? What would that be? So he said, okay, I guess it would be okay. And so I said, well, if I were to have a girlfriend, who is there anybody that you all would like? If I said to you I had a girlfriend, who would y'all think of? And so they threw out a couple of names. I was like, no. It's just hey, that's just the truth. I'm like, no. Mm-mm. No. So they finally said, well, what about the lady? Is it the lady from the church with the short haircut?
I used to have a pixie, guys. It was so
Oh
cute.
my God. So I said, who are you talking about?
Mhm,
The lady that was going to buy the picture.
mhm,
I said, oh, you mean Miss Leslie? And he said,
mhm.
yeah, that's her name, Miss Leslie. I said, yeah, how would you feel if daddy had a girlfriend, if my girlfriend was Miss Leslie? And they said, I guess it will be okay, but then of course they became children, y'all won't be kissing and stuff. So, in my mind, I was like, hmm,
Oh my God.
uh,
Can we not go
you
there?
ain't ready for this.
Please.
Uh, but I reassured them, I gave them,
Mhm.
but but from there, that helped me to know that they had a comfort with you, as you said, on their own.
Yeah.
I didn't bring you up; they brought you up
Mhm.
when I asked that question. Um, and so it's how I knew that they had a comfortability with you, that they had a comfort level with you. Um, that really helped me to be able to say to them, well, yeah, you know, uh, that I think that's gonna be daddy's girlfriend, and then from there, because by that point there had not been there was no official
Right.
between you and them
Correct.
of I'm your dad's girlfriend.
Right.
I'm about to be your mama. Oh, sorry.
Jesus. Well, I didn't think all of that, but it
Well,
was just
your bonus mama.
I,
Your, your
I'm the
stepmama.
girlfriend.
Uh-huh.
Bonus. We don't use step.
Right. I'm just saying at
Yeah,
that
I
time,
get it. Yeah.
it wasn't bonus. It was,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, I mean, that had not happened yet.
Right.
It was just you had your experiences with them.
Mhm.
I had my conversation with them.
Mhm.
But then yet there had not yet been an official coming together with them having the understanding now of who you might be to me,
Right.
you know.
So, do you remember where we went for our first outing together? Because I'm trying to remember that. Because I remember you told them,
Mhm.
but I can't remember what was the first like thing we did together as four of us. I
I can't
really
say either. I don't remember.
okay.
But I do know that, it was just natural.
It was natural, but I will. Okay, so I'm gonna tell a secret. So it was natural, but I remember calling my mom, and I told my mom I was like, Mom, so okay, um, I am dating this guy with kids. And initially I thought my mom was gonna be like, what? Like he got two kids, he's divorced. Oh my God. But she wasn't. She was really open about it. She actually is the one who guided me through that process. Um, and when I told her that you had told the girls, I said, okay, what am I supposed to do next? She was like, nothing. And I was like, well, okay, yes, I am. Like, okay, I don't know. They know.
Mhm.
She was like, kids are very smart, Leslie,
Mhm.
and
Intuitive.
they have yeah, they're intuitive. And she said, okay, continue what you were doing before.
Mhm.
And I said, but now they're going to look at me different. So
Right.
are they going to like me now? She said, they liked you as Leslie.
Mhm. Mhm.
It's no different.
Right.
She said, and don't make it different.
Mhm.
That's up to you.
Mhm.
So I was like, oh, okay. So I had to put in my mind because I thought I was going to have to be a certain way then.
Right.
Now you introduced me, so I can't be their friend. But
Right.
then I realized, no, that's how they met me. as their friend. So I
And
wanted to continue that approach. I didn't want to. I think some people make the mistake is when they're introduced as their significant other to someone, they take on this authority type thing. Okay, I'm your dad, girlfriend, or your mom's boyfriend. You got to listen to me. Nah, that's not what I wanted.
it happened organically. And to your point, now that you are talking about it, I'm remembering that
Hmm.
I want to say that after I had that conversation with them, that the very next step was that, or maybe step is not the right word, but the next thing that happened was we just came back to church.
Ah, okay.
And so it still was that organic
Organic
thing of
thing. Yeah,
now
because
I've told them,
yeah,
but now they're just coming with me to the next rehearsal. You're there,
there. Hmm.
and they have now a better, now they're aware.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there was no official date
It really
now.
wasn't. Okay,
No.
so that's why I
That's
can't
probably why
remember.
we can't remember
Yeah.
because it was just church. And for some reason, I mean, we just live in church. So it was like every our point of
Jesus.
reference is we were in church.
Church.
Yeah. So, I think that that was just the next part of the progression. They just,
Yeah.
they kept coming around.
Mhm.
And, then from there, we may have branched off and started doing stuff like going to dinner
Mhm.
and things like that all together,
Mhm.
uh, that type of thing.
And I do remember one thing. Kirsten, which is the oldest guys, she was like one day at church, she was like, I love your outfit. I was like, well, thank you. I was like, I like your outfit too. And I started fixing her shirt and showing her also. I said that this is how you wear it. And it's like a light bulb like went off of her. And she was like, oh, like, okay.
Well, that's just because she had a problem with the fact that I had bought them these dresses from spaghetti strap dresses from Walmart, and they was too long, so I just took them and put a knot in them on over the shoulder.
Y'all, it
But
was
but
horrible.
baby,
Oh my God.
I was a single father.
It was
What did we establish? I could plait
horrible.
and I could tie up a dress on
But
the
he could
shoulders.
not dress those girls, okay? He did his best, and I know he had help from his village, but they are two different girls, and they used to wear matching
That's
outfits,
right.
and my thing was, no, they have
That's
their
right.
own style, their own personality, and,
Not with those
kids like
rollback
to
prices. Let me tell you something. Listen to me. When you can buy two pair of tights, two shirts, and two pair of shoes
That's
and two
that's
dresses,
real. I don't know that
listen.
life, but
That's
it's
I
real,
was a single
especially when you're
father.
a single
I was
parent.
divorced, and
Yes.
and financially, it was easier to just buy two of everything.
Yes, yes.
So
But you're right. There wasn't any particular, so we're going to go eat out and we're going to
right, no,
sit
no, no,
together
no,
and
no.
we're going to
It
talk. It
wasn't
was the
forced.
formal thing. No,
Yeah,
it really
it
wasn't.
wasn't formal.
It was so smooth. It really was. And I appreciate that. I really, really do, because I think even now we set the tone
Mhm,
for how the relationship is
mhm,
throughout. And the beginning stages when you are meeting the children is very shaky. It can be very, very shaky because they're trying to kids have a loyalty to the other parent, which
mhm.
rightfully so. So they're stuck in a place of, should I like this person, but I have to respect my parent who is dating this person, but then I got to think about the other parent. And so it's like, where's the line? The lines can't blur. Like, what
Mhm.
do I do? And for kids, that's really difficult. And they don't know how to verbalize that. They do it through emotions,
Right,
or acting out in some sort of type of way.
right.
So we I think we did good.
We did very well.
I think we did really good with that.
Because it wasn't forced.
Yeah.
Nothing in our relationship, in our bonus family dynamic, was ever forced.
Correct.
And that's part of, I think, the reason why we have had success, in that area because things happened organically. They had a normal progression. And, the girls had the opportunity to like you for themselves,
Mhm.
get to know you for themselves,
Mhm.
and have a relationship with you for themselves,
Yeah.
and vice versa,
Yeah.
and it came into play. So, you know, thankfully, our introduction story
Mhm.
uh, it's not the nightmare that some have,
Right.
because we've heard some, and I know
We
you've
heard,
heard
and
more than me.
to be honest with you, I would love to hear more from you guys, and share your stories with us, because I think it's helpful when you can have another person relate to what you're experiencing, or if they haven't experienced that, they can give you a different outlook on it.
Mhm.
And the same thing with us meeting the girls. I mean, no, it wasn't this combative or this formal type of situation. It was our own. But that's what it was. It was our own.
Right.
Um and I want people to take that and to make it their own, however way their dynamic works for them. But something I do know is when we were getting to know the girls, when I was getting to know the girls more, Greg would always call me by his oldest name. And we're going to talk about that because I used to be like, "What?" I do know why now, but it used to frustrate me so bad when he used to compare me to a child. I used to think he's
Oh
saying
my
I'm
god.
acting like a child. But we're going to talk about that when we get back because it was just really frustrating. So, more on meeting the girls, okay? Right?
Mhm.
All right. See you guys in a little. All right, guys, we are back talking about meeting the girls. So something I want to kind of talk about a little bit more is, how our relationship was, and
Mhm.
you know, and it's ever evolving. Let me say that, which is I appreciate.
Correct.
So everyone that knows me and those who don't know me, I love fashion. I really, really do. As you can see, I'm wearing a blended family shirt and some red joggers because it represents love. That's what we're talking about
Cue the
today.
soft music from The Cosby Show.
But anyway, I do love fashion, and the girls love fashion as well, especially the oldest. And I think I've also kind of helped pull that out of them a little
Mhm.
bit. And I never wanted, let me say this first. I never wanted daughters. Let's keep it 100. I did not. As a little girl, I always prayed for boys. That's something I wanted. I always wanted a brother. I never had a brother. I have an older sister. And I was like, I can just see myself as a mother of boys because I am the son my father never had. So I'm into sports. I love football. I love fishing. I love all things outdoor. He hates it, but I love it. I just love it. All
Mhm.
things nature. I am a do you say I'm a daredevil? Would you say that? Or I'm just very adventurous.
Very adventurous. I
I'm
wouldn't say a daredevil,
but
but I would
adventurous.
say yes,
I'm
you
very,
love a
very
good.
adventurous. I feel
Mhm.
like let's do it one time. At least let me say I did it. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Her.
I just wanted to put that out
I
there.
don't have to.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I did not want daughters, but God gave me them, and I'm so glad He did. Um, so in that, it allowed me to get more into my feminine side, which I was already, very feminine. But now I had these two little girls that were looking at me, and they were looking at everything I did, I said, I wore. So I had to figure out, how do I develop my personal relationship with them collectively and individually? How does that work? Because they're two different people.
Mhm.
And I've never dealt with kids like this. I can't treat them the same. So, how do I do this?
Right.
So, you know, Kirsten was very open. Internally, she dealt with some things, because she's the oldest. And I think the oldest carries more
Mhm.
in that sibling dynamic. But she was very open in regards to the fashion, and she would come in there as I'm putting makeup on, and I would fix her hair and things like that, and pick out, different outfits for her. And she loved that. Kyla, the youngest, I had to learn Kyla's language. I didn't know Kyla's language. I think out of the two, Kyla was the struggle for me.
Mhm.
Because her and Greg speak the same language because they're jokesters.
Mhm.
Kyla loves to joke, and she knows how to get, if her dad is upset, crack a joke and it goes out the window. Just crack a
That is
joke.
not true.
Yes, it does. And yes, it does. And yes, it does again. So I had to learn that. I'm like, everything ain't no joke. And that I really was like that, and the Kirkland family is all about the
Moving
jokesters.
on, please. What were you saying?
So anyway, I had to figure out my way of trying to get through to Kyla. I
Yes.
really did. That
Mhm.
was not
That's correct.
easy.
Right. You're right.
Kyla was not an easy one for me.
Mhm.
But when I broke that mold,
Yes.
I
Mhm.
broke it. And I can't remember the moment I did it. I really can't remember what exactly it was. I know we had a moment within ourselves. And y'all, Kyla has the brightest smile ever. And I'm
Mhm.
actually about to tear up. Oh my God.
Don't you start this
This is
today.
crazy. I'm about to tear up. But she has the brightest smile ever. And when she smiled at me the way she did, it like told me, I accept you. It really did. And it was like, because it was a struggle.
Mhm.
Um, so that just like broke the ice for me and her. And I wanted that.
Yeah.
I really, really wanted. I can't believe I'm crying.
I
But
can
yeah,
believe it because you're a crybaby.
and no, and because I'm a crybaby, and
But
because
it's okay. You can this
and
it's,
because
it's
I
good.
love them. I really
Right.
do. I
Mhm.
really do love those girls, and I wanted to connect.
Yes. And the truth of the matter is, you and Kirsten have very similar personalities.
Mm-hmm.
And Kirsten and I have very similar
Yes.
personalities. She is my mini me.
Mm-hmm.
Kyla and I connect from, as you said, you're right, from a comedic standpoint and other ways. We speak the same language.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but you're absolutely right. Early on, Kirsten is still she's watered down a little bit as she's gotten older, but she was that bubbly, what's Miss L doing? That's what they call her. We never established that, but
Yes, they
they
call me
call
Miss
her
L.
Miss L.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Miss L? What's she wearing? What she got on? I want earrings. I want hair. I want to be a fashionista. Kirsten used to say this thing where I have a passion for fashion. That was Kirsten's thing,
Yes.
right? So that was
Mm-hmm.
her dynamic. Kyla is, hey, how was your day? Good.
Yes.
What you want to eat? I don't know.
Yes.
Chick-fil-A. Well, what you want to do later? That has always been Kyla's personality.
Mm-hmm.
When they would be with their mom and I would call them or they would call me and we would talk. Now Kirsten could get on the phone and carry a conversation
For
and a
hours,
conversation and
and
a
still
conversation.
can.
And I always talked to Kirsten first
Mm-hmm.
because I knew that after I finished talking to Kirsten, I would talk to Kyla and that conversation would go just like that. And we would be done, but that's my child's personality. So when Miss L comes along with this bubbly, excited personality, she and Kirsten did hit it off because y'all had y'all, that was y'all met there.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle's thing was, girl,
Yes.
why are you so extra?
Yes.
And that's just Kyle's personality, right?
Mhm.
So I think as dad, in looking back, um, I think that she was also trying to find a place where do I fit in?
Where I
Where do we
connect with her.
connect?
Mhm.
Yeah, where do we connect? And I think that Kyla is my child is a child that requires a little more patience,
Mhm.
you know, and I think that was some place that you had to recognize with Kyla. You had to be a little more patient.
Mhm.
Kirsten's an academic, and she, things click for her very quickly. Kyla with school, it wasn't always the easiest,
Mhm.
and that's where she and I flourished. That was our, because
Connection,
I have
Lord.
I have patience to have been able to sit down and talk through homework and help with this and help with that, or to see where she is emotionally. And
Mhm.
I understood that dry, I don't really want to talk.
Yeah.
You know, I gave her that space.
And for
You
me,
know,
that felt like rejection.
exactly. It was like
Mhm.
I'm asking you a question and you're not answering. And me, I would say she's not ready to talk,
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
right?
You're right. No, you're right.
You know,
Absolutely.
um, but I would always say, but when she is ready to
She
talk,
will.
she will talk.
Mhm.
And that has always proven to be the case.
Yeah.
And I think that you had to get to a place of patience with Kyla. Kyla had to get to a place of connectivity.
Mhm.
And when that
Happen.
met, that's when the magic happened.
Mhm.
And so now, and there's still that dynamic where
Mhm.
there are times where you got to have patience with Kyla, and
Mhm.
Kyla got to find a place to connect, because you and Kirsten still can get on FaceTime and talk for hours, and I'll be
Mhm.
sitting there like, who are you talking to, my child?
Right.
You know,
Mhm.
but it's just good.
But
That's
it's
good to hear
funny,
you say.
and oh my god, this is so emotional. Um, but even in that, Kyla comes to me about a lot of stuff. Like, she'll text me and ask me questions, or how should I say this, or how should I talk about this, or um. But something she did, and I have to bring it up now where we are now because it touched my heart so much. Kyla's graduating
Mhm.
from high school. Yay. Um, but Kyla is great, guys, with videography on IG, things like that. And our kids, we live in a day and age that's the thing. Social media, you entrepreneurship. Period. That is the thing for them.
Mhm.
And I wanted her to like really focus on that. And she was just up and down and trying to figure out what she wanted to do. And she talked to her dad a lot. And my thing is always, and I tell Greg this too, because I think our generation, we were just pushed to go to college, find a major, and go to corporate America and do this. And my thing was, no, live your truth and live in your passion. Do what you love, not
Mhm.
something just to get by,
Right.
because you'll be unhappy.
Correct.
And her senior night, she mentioned her major, and it literally brought me to tears.
Mhm. They
Be-
announced it.
They
Mhm.
announced it.
Mhm.
That's what it was. They announced it. And when they announced it, I said, because it was something she and I talked about, I said, you got to do it, Kyla. And after they announced it, she found me and she said, and I'm about to cry again. She said, did you hear? I said, yes. She said, I did it. I did what you said. I did it. I don't know. It just, oh my God. It just was like,
Welcome to Leslie.
we got it. We got our dynamic. We got our language.
Mhm.
She knows my language and
Very
I
good.
knows her. I know
Absolutely.
hers.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we got it.
And, as dad who came into this with the two baby girls,
Mhm.
didn't know how they were going to take to, you know, the new lady.
Yeah. Mhm.
To now see that, and to see how it has progressed, and how it has become what it is today. There are moments when I'm just like, oh, y'all didn't call to talk to me. Oh,
He
okay.
gets jealous,
Oh,
guys. He
okay.
does. He really
Oh,
does
okay.
when they just
So y'all talk. So y'all talking about boys? Oh, okay. For real? Okay. So who is he?
Yeah.
Who is his daddy?
Mhm.
And what is he gonna do with his life? You know. Whereas they just cackling and just. But I have to sit back and be grateful to God,
Mhm.
because in His wisdom and in His strategy, um, He brought you to me and you to the girls,
Yeah.
and vice versa, to create this beautiful blend. This dope blend.
Mhm.
That just um, you can't help but acknowledge and recognize the fact that through time, through patience,
Yeah.
through tears,
Yeah.
you know,
Definitely. Hey, I'm doing it now.
yeah, that it finally came together.
It finally
You
came
know,
together.
and when I say through tears, there were some uncomfortable
It
moments,
really was.
uncomfortable conversations,
Yep.
uncomfortable arguments.
Oh. And it was real. Like, and I want to be transparent about that, y'all. It's, we argued.
Yeah,
We definitely did about
it took some
something. It
arguments
took
to get to
to
this
get to
point.
this point. We really did.
Yeah.
Like,
Hmm.
yo, I don't like you the way you doing it, or me trying to get him to see something through one lens, and he like, yo, this I know what I'm doing. I'm the daddy. These my kids. And I'm like,
You're gonna
but
keep going back to that. You see, that struck a nerve with
I'm
you when I said I'm the dad.
I'm the daddy. I want to tell this story so bad, but it's like, should I tell this
Tell
story
it
or
when we come
not?
back.
Okay, maybe I'll do that. I'll tell you guys this story. Um, with our blended family and the girls when he had to say, I'm the daddy.
Ah, I'm the daddy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
daddy, all right.
Mhm.
We'll be back, guys. I am the daddy. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more. And I want to hear the I am the daddy stories that you have, guys. So I would love for you guys to follow us and send some stories our way on IG at I am the bonus club, and on TikTok. He's looking at me like I'm crazy on TikTok at BMom40. All right, I am the daddy. So I'm going to tell you guys the story. I'm trying to shorten it up as much as possible because y'all, when I heard this, I was like, "What?
But I am the daddy.
You are the daddy?" But at that moment, oh, you were like a daddy with his tail in between his legs. So we had just bought a house, okay, um, and our house, the bottom floor is all hardwood floors. Okay. So I'm at work. I call Greg, right? And I say to him, hey, what you doing? Him and his cousin DJ were putting up a TV over the fireplace. Okay. I said, where are the girls? Because it was summertime. So he said, they were outside playing nail shop, and I brought them inside because they said it was too hot. So when he said nail shop, I'm like, nail polish, acrylic. We just bought a house, hardwood floors. I said, Greg, where are the girls now? They're in the office. I said, what are they doing? Playing nails. I said, nail polish on our hardwood floors. Leslie, I am the daddy. I put stuff down. I know what I'm doing. They're fine. I said, oh, okay. And I left it just like that
Famous last words.
because I said, I'm a girl. I know what that means. And in my mind, I'm like, what color polish? Okay, I just left it alone. Fast forward, I get home. Greg and DJ are still putting up the TV. I go into the office. I'm sorry. Before I walk in the office, I hear,
Well, you
I,
should
uh-uh,
you shouldn't have come home.
I am the daddy. I am the
Everything
daddy.
was
No,
fine
no, I'm the
until she
daddy.
came home.
Y'all, red nail polish was on our brand new hardwood floors, on the blinds and everything. You see him laughing? And I was like, I said,
The
Greg,
windowsill.
windowsill, everything. Oh, mind you, my parents was coming in town
Walking
that
in the
day.
door.
Walking in there. This was the first time they seen our new home, that we purchased. So they coming into town. And DJ says, oh, I guess you the daddy. So the girls, I was livid, like y'all. The veins are popping out because I knew this was going to happen. But he the daddy, right? So
I'm the
I was
daddy.
like, oh my God. Kirsten runs upstairs because I said, I am so disappointed in y'all. That broke her for me to say disappointed. I am so disappointed in y'all. She just, Miss Hill, you told me you was disappointed in me.
Okay.
But
long story short,
long story short,
at the end of the day, did the nail polish come up?
yeah, because he went to the store like a crazy man to Home Depot right down the street, was
Whose
scrubbing
job was
and
it to
scrubbing.
get? Did I ever get it up?
You didn't get it all up.
Did
You didn't get it all
most
up.
of it
He
up?
got most of
Well,
it
that's
up.
all that
But
matters then.
let me tell you
The
that I am
daddy
the daddy.
got it most up.
I am the daddy. He had to bite those words. I am the daddy. So I want to hear y'all I am the daddy stories because
No, not just I am the daddy. There's some I am the mama
I'm the
stories
mama
too.
stories too. But I'm saying that situation, I was like, man, ooh, you the daddy, all right.
Well,
But so that was our I'm the daddy story. But something I want to bring up that I thought was, really important. You said something in regards to just knowing, with the girls as a single father of kind of how to navigate. I think part of that is you have to learn in any relationship our languages, our love languages. I think it's really important, and it's a tool that you and I both use. So I would love for you to elaborate on that just a little bit.
Um, With regards to
Just how, let me say this.
mhm,
So for me, guys, we had to learn each other's love language as a couple.
right.
I had to learn the girls' love language.
Okay.
They require different
Understood.
things.
Mhm.
And I'm going to reference something before I allow you to kind of go into detail, because I love this book, and I had to pull out my phone because I felt like, okay, I didn't want to miss anything. But guys, you have to get this book. It's on Amazon. It's in Barnes and Noble. It's called Building Love Together in Blended Families: The Five Love Languages and Becoming Step Family. I'm sorry, Smart. It's by Gary Chapman and Ron
Mhm.
L. Deal.
Okay.
It's amazing. It's a way to learn love languages with your children.
So not just in a romantic relationship between
Correct.
husband and wife, but also in the
Correct.
family dynamic of how to
Correct.
speak the love language of your children as well.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So I want to hear from you because you're their dad,
Right.
and even you tell me all the time, I have to learn. I speak Kyla,
Right. Hmm.
and
And
I can speak Kirsten, but I
right.
speak Kyla.
Sure. Um, well, that's something, and again, you know, that's something I can attribute actually back to my mom.
Mm-hmm.
My mom would always say, and still continues to say to this day, that people can say all the time, I love all my children equally, and I don't show favoritism. I don't love I love all my children equally. That you really can't,
Oh,
because all of your children are different. So
wow.
all of your children require something different. You got to love them differently because you got to love them for who they are.
That's good.
So I attributed that to my parenting as well.
Mm-hmm.
In speaking Kirsten, speaking Kyla, now speaking Carter and speaking Cooper,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and speaking Leslie. But that's not parenting. That's, yeah,
You
okay.
better speak my
Oh,
language.
babe, don't I speak it? Don't I speak it?
Go to what we talking
I'm the
about.
daddy. Ha!
That's a different
Don't you worry
situation.
about it. Uh huh. But in speaking my children's languages,
Mhm.
it's because I pride myself of having taken the time to allow them to speak their language to me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
and not being one sided where it's, I speak to them, y'all do what I say, and that's it. You don't have a voice, don't speak back to me, don't tell me, don't talk back, I don't want to hear what you have to say. I said what I said, that's it. Um, with them, especially as young girls, as their father, I always thought it was very important for them to be able to share with me how they were feeling, especially, and that was pre-divorce.
Mhm.
When I was still married to their mom,
Mhm.
and post-divorce. It only grew at post-divorce because then I had to even more be considerate of, what are y'all feeling right now.
Yeah.
I had to be considerate of that. So I had to let them tell me, I don't like staying with you one week and with mommy another week.
Yeah. They were very vocal about
I had
that.
to let them tell me,
Mhm.
we don't like going with you to church every night.
Yep.
I had to let them tell me, we're always in church.
Yep.
I had to let them tell me, um, and then when you came along, I had to let them tell me, we love Miss L, or Miss L did something, and can we talk about it?
Mhm.
I had to let them tell me that,
Yep.
and then be open to hearing them and allowing them to process in their own way. Well, that in turn also allowed me to speak their language, because I realized that Kirsten is one that you can tell her, I'm disappointed in you, and she's going to flip out.
Oh, yes.
Kyla, you could tell her,
She like,
I'm
okay.
disappointed in you. She gonna say, I'm disappointed in me too. And that's it. That's just it.
So
And so we all
true. We
disappointed
both
in me.
disappointed. I mean, we
We just
want
a
disappointed.
disappointed household. Because I mean, you disappointed, you disappointed,
We all
everybody disappointed.
disappointed.
So, but that's
It's
my
so
job.
true.
That's my job.
Oh, that's
And
so
I know
true.
this about
Oh
them,
my
right?
God.
They're two
Y'all,
different,
she's
they're two
hilarious.
different people. So with that, I had to, there were moments when I would say to you, Les, you can't talk to Kyla like you talk to Kirsten.
Right.
You can't expect from Kyla what
What?
you expect from Kirsten, or vice versa.
Yep.
You can't expect from Kirsten what you expect from Kyla. You can't talk to Kirsten like
Mhm.
you talk to Kyla. You have to meet them where they are. You have to get to know them. And so in that,
You
it took
you
patience.
you said something.
Mhm.
You gotta get to know them.
Right. Mhm.
That is for anybody that has children, be it you're in a blended family
Right.
or not.
That's correct.
You have to get to know your children. We're so big on parenting our kids and telling them what they should do that we don't allow them to have a voice. And I think that's
Mhm.
generational. Let me say that
Mhm.
because we were taught that way. I don't care what you think. You're gonna do what I tell you to do. This
Mhm.
is what I want you to do. And you're gonna
Mhm.
do it. When this generation is like,
Mhm.
that no.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that
Yeah.
to a certain point.
Right.
Don't be
It has to
disrespectful.
have
It
boundaries.
has boundaries. Don't be disrespectful,
Yeah.
but allow them to be who they are
Sure.
and get to know your kids. Now, there's a difference from trying to be your friend. I'm not your friend. I'm still your parent,
Right.
but I want to get to know you as an individual.
Right.
You
And
know,
that is
parenting is hard.
parenting. It is
Jesus.
hard, but that is what I had to get to know. That's what you and I had to work through when it came to the blended dynamic of your getting to know them.
Mm-hmm.
I had 4 and 5 years of having them
Correct.
before
Me coming
you
along.
even came along,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And then even after you came along, we're talking another 8 months to a year.
Right.
So, now
Mm-hmm.
we're talking 5 and 6 years that I had to know these children. I knew them. They came from me.
Now I want you. Do you think it's easier to blend when your children are younger versus when the kids are older? Do you think age plays a part?
I do,
I do
to be
too.
honest with you.
I
I
do
do,
too.
just personally.
Yeah.
I think that when you come along earlier, the kids are a little more impressionable.
Mhm.
Whereas as they are later on, they are already kind of set in their way. They also have, they're settled in. This is my mom. This is my dad. You will not come in and replace that person in my life.
Yep.
Um, so you got to work a little harder.
You got to work a little harder.
I don't
Work
think
a
it's
little harder, people.
impossible. I don't think it's impossible. I
Yes.
don't think it's impossible,
Mhm.
but you do have to work a little harder.
Yeah.
Uh, and in that, also, um, again, allowing the children to have the space. I think what tends to happen, especially when the children are older,
Mhm.
um, and again, we didn't have that dynamic, so I can't fully speak to that.
Mhm.
But I think that what tends to happen when the children are older in a divorce situation, and then there's a blended situation that's coming along, um, you have a parent that's going to be one of two ways. The blended parent, is that the right way to say it? The
The
bonus
bonus
parent.
parent.
The bonus
Mhm.
parent is either going to come in and try to be too dominating,
Mhm.
or they're going to come in and try to be too accommodating.
So, but we had an experience, but we kind of are experiencing it through the eyes of the girls because now they have a bonus dad.
Well, that's correct. Well, I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
I didn't
they
think about
have a bonus dad now,
that.
guys. So, and they didn't get that bonus dad until Kirsten was a senior.
Yeah,
Well,
or maybe just a little earlier than that.
yeah, like
Uh,
yeah,
but yeah,
the
that's
end of her
true.
junior year,
I didn't
going
think
into
about
her
that.
senior year. Well, he didn't become the bonus dad until after she
Right,
graduated high school.
right,
So
right.
they
I
were
didn't think about
much
that,
older.
but with that, you know, and maybe because they've taken very well to him,
Hmm.
um, I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, we
You
are.
know, um, it could be that our blended family laid the groundwork
For
for that,
yeah,
because
that's true.
the girls were already in a place of being open to a new parent,
Yeah.
you know,
Hmm.
a new person coming into the mix. I think that it helped that he came in with the right
Hard.
heart and spirit. That helped
Yeah.
because again, it would have been different, or it could have been different if
We
he,
would have had to be like,
right,
yo,
yeah,
come on now, bro.
so, but
Just kidding.
thankfully that wasn't the case. But you know, at the end of the day,
Hmm.
we all have a voice.
We all have a voice.
We all play a part in the dope blend.
Yes, we do. And if y'all want to hear more about, us meeting the girl, how I met the girls and just overall that dynamic and, tips on how to introduce or just incorporate that full dynamic, follow us. Come on now, guys, get part of that blended community and follow us on IG at I am the Bonus Club, at My Dope Blend, and on TikTok at Bonus Mom 40. I
And
really enjoy
subscribe.
and subscribe. Definitely. Oh God. Yes, please subscribe to us. We would love for you all to join our blended community. Our dope, let me say that, and I'm doing it with my hands, our
Oh,
dope blend community. But I hope
she
you
thinks
guys
she a
really
thug.
enjoy this episode about meeting the girls. There's so much more to come in regards to that, and as we have evolved as a family. So tune in next week. We're going to talk about a little bit more in depth about just that whole dating um with the mom and everything like that, their mom, and we kind of going to incorporate that. So um just tune back in. Thank y'all for listening today.
We'll see you.
All right, peace out.